You're listening to the Estheticians Or More podcast with Brittany Hageman, episode number 191.
Do you want to double your business in 1 year? Are you an esthetician solo business owner that is very, very tired because you are working for every single dollar that you earn? Are you making between $5,000 and $7,000 a month consistently in your esthetician business? And the only way that you can see that you can make more money is to add more hours? Is the money going out of your business just as fast as it's coming in? Do you feel like you're on the verge of burnout? Do you not understand how other estheticians can actually make a profit? If you say yes to any of these questions, I can help you. In my one-to-one 6-month individualized coaching program, I will teach you to double your business in 1 year. I combine proven strategies and business systems along with mindset coaching to teach you how to change the systems in your business that aren't making you money. My clients that have incorporated all of these systems into their business consistently have seen phenomenal results. If you're interested in working with me, use the link in the show notes. I cannot wait to meet you.
Happy Monday. Welcome back. I'm so excited to be back with you again today. We are going to talk about the current economy and how you can feel better and also maybe make some decisions that are a little bit better for your business. I just want to note that I have been in a business for myself since 2017, so 8 years-ish. So I feel like I have seen a lot of economy changes. I also graduated college in 2008, which was, as you may know, if you were old enough and remember, the huge housing crisis meltdown when there were no jobs and people were losing their businesses. And it was a really tough time, way tougher, in my opinion, than it is now. Maybe you would disagree with me, but I have seen in my 40 years a lot of changes over the economy, and especially as a business owner. So I wanted to talk about a couple mindset things and also some strategic things to think about when it comes to having a small business in today's economy. First and foremost, people are making a lot of money right now. Esthetician business owners, solo esthetician business owners. People are making 15, 16 grand a month before, expenses. So total revenue in. I have many clients that are making that much money. I have many former clients that are making that much money. I have many esthetician business owner acquaintances and just people in my network that I know and care about, but have never worked with me before, that is making a lot of money. So, yes, I know a lot of esthetician business owners are struggling, but a lot of people are making money. So, what is the difference between if you are struggling and them? So I think we need to think about a couple of things that may be contributing to these things. And the first thing that I have seen with the esthetician business owners that are doing well are they are very, very connected to their clients. Very connected to their clients. They show up a lot on social media to keep that connection growing. They have very close relationships with their clients when they come in. There is a bond that they have with their clients. Their clients deeply care about them and cannot wait to see them. So that is the first thing that I see in all of these estheticians that I know that are doing at least 15 grand a month as a solo esthetician business owners. I know obviously some people have employees working for them that are my current and former clients also doing this much. But if you have that many people working for you, you need to make more than that so you can make more money. But connection, really great connection, is the number one thing that they all have in common. And this gets overlooked a lot because people start worrying about money and they lose the connection they have with their client because money is what they think about. And you can't hold, when you're with someone, you can't hold fear of needing money with connecting with the person in front of you. It is very hard. They can feel you need money, even if they can't say they can feel it, they can feel it. So that is what they're feeling in this interaction versus you just love them to pieces and can't wait to hear all of their stories. Two totally different energies in an appointment. And even with new clients, you can build this rapport. Like you can build rapport with new people. And if you can't, and you've been doing this for a while, you may need to work for someone else who brings people in for you because your ability to connect with people is a big part of owning a business. Someone who is a stranger has to walk in, lay down, let you touch their face, probably things that no one ever does to them or do Brazilian or whatever. And they need to feel instantly trusting to you and an instant rapport. Now, connection doesn't always look the same for everybody. And I'm going to tell you an example. I told one of my clients this recently because maybe you get in your head about this, and that's okay. Usually I find people who get in their head about this are actually really good at connection. And if it doesn't look the same way, they're like, oh, something's wrong. And so I just want to just give you that. So I had this client when I was newish doing acne. I had been doing it for a while. I started feeling pretty confident. And she was an quote unquote older client than my normal client. So she was over 40 and she had mild acne, mostly like cystic, not super severe. And she would come in and she bought all the products and she did all the things. And she was a great client, like always came, bought her stuff, whatever. And I would talk and she would be very quiet, but if I stopped talking, then she would ask me a question. So I could tell that she wanted me to keep talking, but I was talking like 99% of the time. And I'm like, am I talking because I'm nervous? Am I talking? Is she like, oh my gosh, this girl's so annoying? And I started kind of getting in my head about it. But she just kept coming. She seemed like she genuinely liked me. But I also didn't feel like in our conversations that she genuinely liked me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I felt like they were very one-sided. And I felt like, oh gosh, because I can talk too much. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm talking too much. And she just kind of was just quiet, introverted, like. But she still kept coming. And I was a little bit uncomfortable when she came because I never knew like what am I doing? And then she brought her teenage son. And I'm sure he still is. He was fantastic. He's one of my favorite clients of all time. And they both know that. And he's just this like flamboyant teenage cheerleader and had personality coming out of his eyes. And, he's just so fun and so over the top. And I just loved him. And he just talked nonstop and with, all the things, so much personality. And I realized that that's her son. So she probably likes people like that, who's a little bit maybe over the top. And that's why she liked me. Like she chose me over maybe a quieter esthetician who I think maybe she would have connected with better. And if you were a quieter esthetician, like lean into that because you can connect to people and not be over the top for sure. There are a lot of people looking for a calmer person than maybe me. But it was like this light bulb. It was like, oh, she probably does like me. And she did. I still get Christmas cards from them. I haven't seen them definitely in 4 years since I moved from San Diego. Anyways, long story short, if there's a rare run, if you have clients that you don't connect with, but as a whole you connect with your clients, you're doing great. There's going to be people here and there that you don't connect with, people here and there that maybe they connect with you and you don't realize they're connecting with you. So just think about that. Okay. The other thing that people have in common that are doing well in this economy is they are very clear on the results that they provide and how to get them. And this can be from hair removal to acne to facials to advanced treatments. It is not this is the industry that's fine, doing great, and everyone else sucks. That's not what I've seen. So the result oriented marketing and focus tends to do great. I'm not saying that the fluffy facials aren't great, but my clients who are doing well with both product sales and services are focusing on results in their marketing and in their business. Now, if that's what you focus on results, but you're struggling and you also connect well with people, I want to ask you, do people know that you focus on results? People you don't know very well, or people that are in your world? And do they know what that actually means? You may think people know more than they do. You may do the skin pen and you think everyone knows what that is. No. You may do jet plasma and that's obvious, so obvious what it is, what you do. But no, even if they've heard of it, they may not know exactly what that means. I'm sure you've experienced this. I tell people I'm an esthetician because people really can't follow me when I tell them I do business consulting and coaching for us. That's when they're like, wait, what? And the amount of people that don't know what an esthetician is or think I'm an anesthesiologist baffles my mind. And they're like, oh, so you do like helping put people to sleep during surgery? It's like, nope, that's an anesthesiologist. I'm an esthetician. And then they're like, what does an esthetician do again? I mean, people think I'm a dermatologist. You know, right? You have to know this. And if you don't know this, it means you're not talking to enough people about what you do, because this happens all the time. Or people think, oh, you must do waxing. I'm like, I don't do waxing. All right, whatever. So they have an idea of what it is and they don't really know. Which leads me to the third thing that everyone who is doing well in this economy has in common. And that is everyone in their network knows exactly what they do. Everyone knows what they do. There's no confusion. And you may be like, yeah, everyone knows. But when I've talked to clients about this, there is a circle of people that know. And then there's larger circles outside those circles, and those circles do not know. And the reason they usually don't know is because that esthetician is afraid of putting themselves out there, which if you listen to last week's episode, hope that may help you understand that. But people can't come in for a glacial if they don't know what a glacial is, they don't know what it does, what you do, and they don't know you exist. And when they come in, they feel like it's a transaction. The way that you make it not feel like a transaction is if you treat them like a person, which if I had to guess, most of you do. If you're listening to the podcast, you probably do. But keep that in mind. And you know I'm going to tell you this again. If you can't pay your bills with your esthetician business, there's no shame in that. Get another job, probably not an esthetician related job, to pay your bills so you're not counting every single penny and you can show up for your clients in an authentic, normal human way, not in a I need this to buy groceries today way, which is legitimate. And you need food and you need to buy, pay your bills. But if your business is at the stage where it can't do that or it hasn't been able to do that, there's no shame in getting a job. That's a very smart financial decision. The fourth quality thing that I've seen in the estheticians that are doing well financially is they don't effing give up. There is a tenacity of, if this doesn't work, something else will. It is a powerful force. And again, some of these clients are more quiet and soft-spoken, and some of them are more over the top. So it's not a personality thing. It is a zest. And they are willing to make changes based on what's happening around them and reevaluating and learning from things and being like, okay, this used to work for me to get clients, or this used to work for X. It's not working right now. I'm going to find 3 other things to do differently to make this work. Okay, so for an example is, let's say they've been pretty good at selling products and their product sales are just down, just generally down. They are not selling. They don't go, well, it's the economy. Oh, well, this is just sucks and terrible and I hate this everything. Why are eggs so expensive? They're not doing that. They're like, okay, what I used to do selling products is not working right now. And they're going to come up with 3 different ways to change that. Not just one, they're going to try all 3 of those different ways really hard. Like with all of their being, until they have evidence that one of the ways doesn't work. And then they're going to think of another way. And we brainstorm when I work with these people, but they will try things that they know may not work, but they're going to try it with the belief that it's going to work to keep them going. Because if you try something with like, this isn't going to work, I don't care, I'm not really putting myself into it, I'm not really gonna change the way I talk about products or change the way I approach it, I'm just gonna I don't know, hopefully whatever, it's not going to work. But if they're like, okay, the way I talked about products before is not working, so now I'm going to talk about it from this way and do this instead. And I used to talk a lot about ingredients and people don't seem to be buying, so I'm going to try this instead. Like, they are evaluating what's happening and then making the changes. And they may think this might not work. We don't know. But they are going to treat it like it will work, because if they put that much energy and time into it and it doesn't work, they can really say, that's not going to work in this situation, moving on. They aren't going to say, I'm a failure, which again, I'm alluding to last week's episode. You're going to say, I did actually really try it, it didn't work. But what I learned from that is X, Y, and Z, which is going to apply to the next thing I do. And the last thing they're doing is they are problem solving without panicking. And I know it's really hard to do. I have had ups and downs in my business, particularly in my coaching business. A big part of that is because of my limited time in childcare. But another part of that is getting the offer right, which is easier to do in an esthetician business and harder to do in a coaching business. But if the product line you're using is not working, or the services you're doing isn't really giving you the results, or the way that your business is structured isn't profitable, or your marketing doesn't seem to be bringing any people in, you have to problem solve. You have to be like, okay, this isn't working. What's happening? Let me figure out something else, and not panic while you're doing it. The amount of problem solving I have done in this esthetician business is 10 times more than when I was working as an esthetician in San Diego. So much more. Because this is an online business, and so marketing is like 99.9% online. I don't think I've ever met a person who's become a client in real life. Have I? I don't know. I have to think about that. But it's 100% networking online. And I was used to a big part of my business being in-person marketing as well as online marketing, which is what I teach my clients. And so I had a big learning curve. I have a lot of trying and error and trying different offers that I think people really wanted. Some people wanted things that I didn't do. There's just a lot I had to figure out. And I'm still figuring it out. And knowing the result my clients want and figuring out the easiest way for them to get there has taken a lot of trial and error, because what works for some people doesn't work for other people. And how to guide people in that way has been a big challenge for me. But when I learn these things, I add it to my program. I make my program better. I make it easier for people. And that's why my program is so robust today. It's not what it was 5 years ago, because of the amount of learning and adding and changing things and making things easier and better for my clients and myself, to make the process easier for them to understand. The process itself has not changed. The way that I present it has changed, and ways to help you understand that has changed. But that takes a lot of trial and error. And if I panicked and was like, this is never going to work, I hate all this trial and error, to the fact that I'm just giving up, I wouldn't be making money today and helping people. So the same goes for you. There are lots of pieces of the business that you have to figure out and will continue to figure out. And people who are making a lot of money are still figuring out and making changes in their business and figuring things out and being like, this used to work, it's not working anymore. Why is that? But they aren't saying, this used to work. Why isn't it working? This is so unfair. I hate this. I'm giving up. They are not saying that, because they know that's not going to solve the problem. Maybe they feel that for a minute, not to say like robots, there's a lot of emotions. A lot of my clients, we talk through these emotions. It's like, oh, this is so frustrating. This is so hard. I'm so, we feel it, we talk about it, and they're like, okay, let's regroup and make a plan. So if you are struggling in this economy, I want you to think about those things. And I really hope you could take something away from this episode that can really help you make some changes that you may need in this economy. Okay, that's it for today. Be back next week. Bye for now.